20% crit severity, and 2% crit chance. You also get a omnidirectional disruptor beam, and it gives you a negative 8.7 to weapon power cost, and a 2.5% chance to give a negative 10 to all damage on the target, plus a 10% accuracy rating. Also comes with a engineering console. This gives you 10% to maximum hit points, plus 5 to shield power, plus 5 to engine power, plus 7.5% maximum shield capacity, and a plus 16% to your turn rate. Okay, for the two-piece, we get Precision Instruments, which is a 2.5% crit chance increase, and plus 15 to the accuracy rating. For the three-piece, we get Explosive Shearing Torpedo Modification. Special torpedo modes launched from this weapon leave behind a negative 20 damage resistance debuff to their target for 6 seconds. And as stated here, those are High Yield, Torpedo Spread, and Transport Warhead. Those are the special modes. The third set is the Preserver Resonant Technology set. This set has a choice of a beam array or a dual heavy cannon. We went with the dual heavy cannons in this case. The torpedo, which we didn't get, and a tactical console, which is down here. It's rewards for the Iconian War story arc, Blood of Ancients mission. So let's talk about the cannon first. The cannons are dual heavy cannons, so we get that extra punch. But as you can see, 886 DPS, it's about the same, almost exactly, as the previous cannons that are just regular dual cannons. Okay, this one gets you a plus 10 crit severity, a negative 10.4 to weapon power cost, plus 20 crit severity, and a plus 2.5% chance to do the Resonant Disruption Wave. This is a 2-kilometer radius at the target, and it does 440 physical damage with 100% shield penetration, and then a negative 10 to all damage resistance for 8 seconds. It also increases the damage to shields by 15% from all energy types for 8 seconds. It also has a 4% crit chance. And then the tactical console we get with this gives us plus 20% to disruptor damage, plus 20% to transphasic projectile weapon damage, and a plus 4 to armor pen for all weapons. Okay, for the two-piece, we get the Resonance Amplifiers. We get a 3.6 weapon power setting increase, and a Resonant Disruption Wave increase in energy damage to the shields by 15%. Now that piece right there is for the torpedo. Since we don't have the torpedo with us, it doesn't apply, but just for FYI, I'm including it in the description. With the three-piece, we get the Harmonic Firing Enhancement Matrix. For 15 seconds, this is going to apply a stack of 4% firing cycle haste for energy weapons. It stacks up to 10 times, and you get a stack every time you're hit, with a max of 1 per second, so it'll take 10 seconds to build up totally. At 10 stacks, you're going to get a grand total of a 15% bonus damage. Okay, next thing we're going to talk about is the Warp Core. It has a negative 15 weapon power cost. It is the deuterium stabilized Warp Core. And this one is a one-time reward from the Borg Advanced Story Arc mission, Where Angels Tread to Fear. Like I said, it's a one-shot deal. Once you do it, your only choices for rewards are going to be 2 deflectors. Remember that in the future. So you're only going to get this once per character. Once per character. Okay, so next we're going to go up with the Bajor Defense Set. This consists of a deflector, impulse, shields, and you can also get the Hyper Injection Warp Core, I believe from the Phoenix boxes if you decide to do so. But we're going to talk about the three-piece set here. First off, we're going to start off with the deflector. Plus 8.8 to shield capacity, plus 35 to control expertise, plus 35 to drain expertise. The deflector is going to give us plus 20.8 to flight speed and plus 1.1 to flight turn rate. It also gives hull scraping, which gives you 229.3 kinetic damage, 100% shield penetration for slamming into the enemies. You gotta love that because we do it all the time, so you might as well get some damage from it. It also gives ramming speed capability at 90% hull, the 16.5 full impulse flight speed as well. Okay, for the shields. 6,263 for shield capacity, 247 for the regen every 6 seconds. It also has energy reduction of 10%. Now the cool thing about this shield is when a shield side is depleted, it will blast out a cone of plasma damaging all the enemies within it. Now, this particular case, we have a damage of 3,594. Now to all targets hit in the blast, on top of that, you get 414 plasma damage per second for 6 seconds. Now, if you lose your shields more than once in 30 seconds, you're only going to get one shot at that. But the initial one will blast out that damage, and it's a nice little boost. These 3 pieces you're going to get from the New Frontier story arc, Scylla and Charybdis mission. Like I said, if you want to do the 4-piece set and get the, the Bajoran Hyper Injection Warp Core, that I believe comes from the Phoenix boxes. Go in there, get that, get a very rare token, and then you can go on and buy it. Okay, the defense set has 4 pieces. We're only going to use 3 in this build, so we're going to go over the 2-piece set bonus and the 3-piece set bonus. The 2-piece is the core damage systems. It's going to improve your damage by 17.8% to phaser, disruptor, or plasma, depending on what you have on your ship at the time. And of course, if you have all 3 and you're doing a rainbow build, you'll get the bonus to all 3. Now, the 3-piece set gives you range modulation. The energy siphoning field from the warp core has an increased range from 2 kilometers to 5 kilometers. It also increases the coronal ejection, which is the plasma blast, from 2.5 kilometers to 5. Okay, next up is the experimental weapons slot. Now, I'm assuming because you're watching this video that you're pretty new to the Star Trek Online gaming series, and you're not going to have anything to put in here but what comes with the ship. And what comes with the ship is the experimental hyper-excited ion stream projector. This is a huge lightning bolt with a 360-degree firing arc. It does 1,600 electrical damage to up to 5 targets in the line. So if you line them up nice and straight and you get 5 of them hit, you get a 10% bonus per target. Pretty good chunk. It also gives you a negative 8.7 weapon power cost and recharges every 4 seconds. So it can shoot out a good amount of damage. Okay, next up are devices. There are a few that you can use that are non-consumable, and that's the ones we're going to talk about today. All right, 3 of them are going to call in reinforcements to help fight for you. The first one is the Nimbus Distress Call. It comes from the Wasteland Story Arc Installation 18 mission. Now, these will become available once you hit level 65, so don't look for them beforehand. The next one is the Gamma Quadrant Home Mission Phased Waveform Beacon. Now, this will call in Hercs to fight with you. And then the last one is the Iconian War Story Arc Broken Circle mission for the Delta Alliance reinforcements. Now the other piece we're going to have here, as you can see here, I used the Delta one for this particular build, is the Subspace Field Modulator. It gives you plus 34 to all damage resistances for 15 seconds and a negative proton damage resistant rating for 15 seconds. Nobody uses proton unless you're PvP, so don't worry about that piece of intel right there. Plus it gives you a plus 15 defense rating for 15 seconds. Now this particular piece comes from the Spectre's story arc, Spin the Wheel mission. And this also becomes available once you hit 65, but there are a couple of missions you have to get through to get to that mission. Okay, for engineering consoles, put in the Terillium D from the Future Proof story arc Ragnarok mission for its resists. And it also gives you auxiliary power boost. And then the Polaric modulator from the Iconian War Delta Flight mission for the flight speed and turn rate. It also adds weapon power to your engine power as a bonus, so you'll move faster. Speed is good. Okay, and then we did 2 shield emitter amplifiers. Those were just drops from playing the game. And then the Disruptor Induction Coils. Those come from the New Frontier story arc Echoes of Light mission. Now, of course, you can buy these in the exchange if you want to, and then boost them up, but they're already at Mark 12 and very rare, so use them for the time being. All right, that takes care of all the pieces and the parts. Let's get on to the bridge officers and everything else. Okay, as I said before, this particular ship, all stations are universal. So you can put in whatever you want, but this is what I went with. Okay, for the Science Lieutenant, I went with Tractor Beam 1 and Science Team 2 for the Shield Heal. The Engineer, Reverse Shield Polarity 2, Auxiliary Power to Emergency Battery 1, and Emergency Power to Weapons. For the Tacticals, I had the Lieutenant go with Torpedo Spread 1 and Scatter Volley 1. For the Commander, Tac Team 1, Rapid Fire 1, Scatter Volley 2, and Attack Pattern Omega 3. Okay, now we're going to talk about personnel space traits. First one we're going to take is Bulkhead Technician for the bonus to hit points on the hull. Cannon Training is next for the 5% bonus to cannon damage. Efficient Captain gives us a +3 at the shield and auxiliary power settings. Fleet Coordinator gives us a bonus of 2% to all damage per team member. And since we're doing a lot of TFOs, that'll add up. Inoculus gives us a +5% crit severity and a -25% threat generation. Trust me, this ship has not a lot of hit points. You want to stay away from the threat as much as possible. Next up is Operative. It's going to give us a +2 crit chance and severity. And Point Blank Shot. This comes from the Iconian War story arc, House Pech mission. And it gives you a 0 to 10% damage to energy weapons based on your distance to the target. So as you're flying across them to do a strafing run in this thing, you get a bigger bonus the closer you get until you slam into it. Get the previous bonus I was talking about, and then on we go. Okay, next up, projectile damage. Bonus to projectile weapon damage. Shield Technician, +10% to maximum shield capacity. And Thrill Seeker, 15% bonus to flight and impulse speed. Okay, and last for the traits, we're going to go to Starship traits. This one is the Best Defense. This also comes from the Iconian War story arc, House Pech mission. And it gives you a healing bonus to the hull of 25% for 10 seconds every time you use an attack pattern. So every time I hit the Omega attack pattern 3, I get a bonus in the healing of the hull for 10 seconds. So there you have it. A decent ship with some maneuverability and enough damage to get you on your way to bigger and better ships. A quick breakdown. if I added up everything correctly, in total there will be 22 mission runs, give or take, to complete this build. Now, if you choose one of the other free ships, of course that number will change. This is totally free, no in-game currency or real-life currency is needed. These are all mission rewards. And just to be clear, this is not a top DPS build, it's your first ship. And don't go into any TFOs or any mission for that matter, or patrol, and think you're gonna shred the enemy. You're just not gonna. This is the ship that will get you the gear and the credits to get a ship that can do that. Remember, this is a process, and this ship is just step one of many. So now you get to see what it will do in a TFO. I chose the TFO Defense of Starbase 1. This has 3 phases and a lot of enemies, good loot, and will give you a pretty good idea of what the ship's performance will do in a TFO. Remember, I'm ArmyVet. This is a video for you to enjoy, and I'm going to stop it there because that is stupid. Remember to hit the like button, the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment because it will help the channel grow. And enjoy the TFO.
Listen up. The war has not been going well for the Federation. Here they come.
Okay, so despite the little ouchie we had at the very beginning, stuff happens, as they say. The ship did really well. So if this was informative, or at least entertaining to a certain degree, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and leave a comment because it will help my channel grow, and I'd greatly appreciate that. Until next time, have a great day.